Let's take a visit to the Priesmeyer Farm to learn more about where we came from. We start by traveling from San Antonio to Taylor, where we stop in to visit Nora. Meredith has some photos she wants to share. While there, we stop in to see Grandma Priesmeyer's home on Sycamore Street. It may need some repair, but we all have fond memories of the place. We remember Amanda, and some may recall Henry Richard Priesmeyer Jr. This is their wedding photo. Henry Heinrich Priesmeyer Sr. lived next door in his later years. Here he is with Henrietta in front of their home. To visit the Priesmeyer Farm, we left Taylor for Wuthrich Hill and stopped by the Prince of Peace Church. It's an important stop because it was here in 1884 that Priesmeyer Sr. helped form a congregation and build a church. This is not the original church. This one was moved here from a short distance away. This is the original one. This is the way our grandparents saw it. We had to take the opportunity to get a picture of the latest Priesmeyer, Harris Michael, with his dad, Matthew Harris, and his dad, Henry Richard. We were able to go inside. Part of the altar is from the original church. It has beautiful stained glass windows, one dedicated to Edward and Mathilda Priesmeyer. We paid a visit to the cemetery at the Prince of Peace Church. But we're here to see the Priesmeyer Farm, so off we go across the rolling countryside of Williamson County till we find 2255 on County Road 417. Now here's a farm. Meredith thought the window was artistic. This is the Priesmeyer Farm, settled by Henry Priesmeyer Sr. He and Henrietta raised 7 kids here and sent them to school at the Turkey Creek School up next to the church. So the history of our family all centers on Heinrich Priesmeyer Sr. If we knew more about him, we'd know more about ourselves, and there might be another farm. Heinrich Sr. came to Wuthrich Hill after living a few years in Brenham. Now, Brenham is important because it's full of Priesmeyers. Everyone's related to a Priesmeyer or a Tiemann. It's also important because he and Henrietta Tiemann walked into this Washington County courthouse on Monday, December the 30th, 1878, and got a marriage license. They married 2 days later on January the 1st, 1879. Heinrich Sr. had come to Brenham from Galveston, Texas. He was one of many who arrived here as immigrants from Bremen, Germany. He arrived in Galveston in October of 1877, and he arrived aboard the Weezer, shown here on the left in dry dock. With him were his 2 brothers, Heinrich Wilhelm and Karl, and his sister Lena. They left a brother named August at home in Germany. We're still looking for the Priesmeyer Farm, so if we follow the Weezer back to Germany, we find ourselves in Bremen, Germany. And if we follow his breadcrumbs, we find they take us 73 miles to Oppenwehe. It's a beautiful area called Lower Saxony. In the 1800s, it was governed by the Kingdom of Prussia, bordering the Kingdom of Hanover. While it was difficult to leave Prussia, one could simply walk over to the Kingdom of Hanover and leave without difficulty from Bremen. Part of it's quite mountainous. Much of it looks a lot like Williamson County. If one stops in for a beer in some directions, you get a free ride from the tavern owner west into Oppenwehe and the bordering towns of Weedham and Brookham. These towns are important because they're full of Priesmeyers and Tiemanns, and there might be a family farm. Here's a Priesmeyer farm located in the middle of town. Here's the same farm located on a historical map of Oppenwehe. Seems there have been Priesmeyers here for some time. Still looking for a Priesmeyer farm. Almost there. Lots of open pasture here with a few trees for windbreaks. Meredith arrives without warning. and spends the afternoon visiting with the Priesmeyers and their son. The local historian comes over and provides some family history. Then there's a tour, proud Priesmeyer and his prize pig, and the Priesmeyers in Oppenwehe travel to Weedham on Sundays to visit this Weedham Evangelical Lutheran Church. The current church building dates from 1881, but the congregation goes back much further than that. It's in this church that countless Priesmeyers were confirmed, married, and baptized. If we leave Weedham, we can travel to Brockham, a distance of about 6 miles. Here we find more Priesmeyers in the phone book. And here we find another Priesmeyer Farm. With so many, how do we know which one was the home of Heinrich Priesmeyer Sr., our great-grandfather? Well, we found records that show his ancestors lived in farm number 53. So an examination of the historical map of Oppenwehe found the farm. It's located on the western edge of Oppenwehe on the road to Weedham. So we can trace our family back to this Priesmeyer home. Here's a current photo of the farm, and here are some other interesting facts.